In this session, we're going to show you how to change the field values that come with ServicePoint365. The application is designed so that there's over 225 custom columns of information that can be used to tag to clients and projects and opportunities and resources. That information, or those columns, are shipped with a set of values that you can go in and change to be uniquely yours, as well as what defaults you want to have whenever that field is used on a screen. In order to access the screen to where you can change the values in the defaults, we're going to go to the installation page on the back office menu. The fields are grouped by center. There's also a set of fields that are used across multiple centers that are put in what's called the core group. On this installation page, you have the ability to unfold each center and make adjustments to the fields and the defaults for those fields on a simple entry screen. We're going to start by unfolding the core group. Once again, fields that are found in the core group are fields that are commonly used across multiple centers. In this case, we'll see the second item here in the list is billable status. Currently, there are two choices for billable status, which would be billable and non-billable. You have the ability to easily go in and change, modify, delete, or add to these lists of valid values. So in this case, we may type in other in situations where that would apply. I can also, in this field here, indicate which of these choices I want to show up as the default. So whenever billable status shows up on a screen, which of these choices do I want to have automatically populated in that field value to save for ease of use for entry? In this case, we're going to just copy billable and put that in as our default. So once again, when billable status is displayed on a screen for entry, the default value will already be populated as billable. If I scroll down the screen, you'll see there are a number of fields. So you have the ability to go in and adjust the values, which will be the information that's displayed in the drop-down whenever that field is selected, as well as defaults for all of these fields. If I keep scrolling down, we'll see that each center has some unique fields as well. So we're going to open up, as an example, Project Center. So here we have some fields that are unique to Project Center, such as project document status, project document type. And once again, we can go in and we can either change values, we can delete values from the lists, as well as we can indicate which of these we want to be our default simply by copy and pasting or just typing into that field. A couple things to consider is to make sure that you save often your field choices. You can do that by simply coming down and clicking the Save button. It's important that you do that periodically in the event that you need to suspend your activity and come back and continue later. You want to make sure that you save your work, and you'll get a completion message once the save is finished. Another thing to consider is that as you're looking at the fields, you may come across fields that you're not certain how that field is used within the application. And that's because you're not necessarily seeing in the context of the overall ServicePoint 365 environment. That's okay. You'll have a chance later on, if need be, to adjust these values as well as the defaults. So the goal as you're going through the screen is to select the fields that you know are obvious changes that you want to make those changes, assign what would be the default, save those, knowing that you'll have the chance to go back and change those later on. At the very bottom of the screen, underneath the Save button, is an Install button. Do not select that until you're advised by your project team lead. The installation process here can only be run one time, and it needs to be run once you're comfortable that all the fields have been adjusted accordingly. Once that has been done, your project team lead will be responsible for clicking the install and finishing the deployment of the ServicePoint 365 application.